Warning, the following presentation contains cold, hard truths that might change the way you think. Viewer discretion won't do you any good now.
Supergiant Games, what have you done now? Like, who do you even think you are at this point? You can't keep going around making these incredible games over and over again. It's really not fair anymore. It's no secret that I've gone slightly apeshit for all of this company's games in the past. I may have even embarrassed myself a little with how much I gushed over Transistor. But this latest entry just proved me to be even more right about this company. Hades is a roguelike hack-and-slash RPG with Greek mythology pumping through its veins. Now, my knowledge of Greek mythology basically stops at the movie Get Him to the Greek, but I still fell in love with these characters, and this gameplay, and the undeniable work of genius that is this game. And clearly some people agree. Hades just recently took home Best Action Game and Indie Game of the Year at this year's Game Awards. And you really have to look with a magnifying glass to find people out there who don't like this game. Finally, I feel like I have no one to disagree with. It's a weird feeling, but Supergiant is that good. Now, I think it's safe to assume that Supergiant Games probably got their name from having a supergiant penis. The company has clearly shown that their penile circumference is quite massive, having produced a seamless array of successful, unique titles. But they're also clearly learning from what makes their games great, because Hades feels like a culmination of their previous efforts. It's got the hack-and-slash combat of Bastion, the ability combining mechanics of Transistor, and the colorful characters and rich narrative like what we saw in Pyre. Now, as with all Supergiant titles, looking at this game is like looking at a car crash full of naked women. It's very hard not to stare at it. The animations are smooth and colorful. Every corner of the screen feels alive and breathing in some way. It's exactly what we've come to expect from this company. Just a visual orgasm every 2 seconds. Now, if you're thinking that I'm making a lot of sexual jokes, that's because Hades is known for making its players aroused. They say it's the voice acting, but I've put the game on mute and I'm still getting aroused from just how good it is. In this game, you play as Zagreus, the dashing, literally dashing, son of Hades, and your goal is simple: try to escape the underworld. Over and over again. Each roguelike escape attempt puts you in procedurally generated dungeons where you're constantly choosing between multiple different paths based on which item is behind each door. This game has a lot of collectibles to wrap your head around. At first I was like, whoa, Supergiant, calm down. First, there are all the artifacts, which are mainly forms of currency that you use to exchange back at the House of Hades for upgrades and really just all kinds of helpful stuff. Then there are boons, which are like temporary buffs from different gods you encounter. Now, if you improve your relationship with these gods and other NPCs, you'll unlock their keepsakes, which are even more equipable upgrades. And then there are the other artifacts, some of which sorta work like boons, like the Centaur Heart or the Daedalus Hammer. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of a lot. But once you understand what everything does, you realize just how insanely open-ended this game is. You also notice this a lot when you try out different weapons and see how the upgrades affect them differently. There's so much going on beneath the hood of this upgrade system. So many different things working off each other. It really feels like a bunch of mathematicians just stood around in a lab attempting to calculate the perfect upgrade system for a rogue game. I'm genuinely impressed by it, because it will take you a long time to see how every upgrade from every god affects every ability from every weapon. Now, it is no secret that this game is pretty damn hard at first. And by at first, I mean the first 25 hours. Every time I died, I did something horrible to my controller. Not just punching and throwing it. I'm talking calculated forms of abuse. My controller got so fucked up from playing this game. It went from looking like an Xbox 360 controller to the original Xbox controller. I don't even get it. This game really made me appreciate casual gaming, like Farm Simulator or the Terraria title screen. Now, this game does get slightly harder each time you go on a run. More mini-bosses are introduced, bosses will change entirely, you face stronger enemies, but that is actually balanced with a handful of things that make the game much easier with every run. You meet more gods and receive better boons over time, you get better perks and keepsakes, you upgrade weapons, there's God mode, which helps you more and more if you keep dying with it enabled, and if you just have a little faith, you will eventually go from being really terrible to insanely overpowered. It does happen. You can also just turn on God mode and be a little bitch. You know, like me. But in order to not suck at this game, you just need to take your time. In other words, don't just try to beat the game. Relax, go for a cruise, pick up some boons, collect some darkness, and just enjoy your time in this game. If you try to rush through it, you will definitely get frustrated. Let's face it, if you're not very good, you need to fight dirty. I like a nice Poseidon dash, maybe a little Blade Rift or two. Gotta throw in the Hangover and Chilled status effects. And if you top that off with a Zeus call, you might as well change your name to Brett, because Hades is about to get boofed. But every player has their own preferred weapon or strategy. I know there are some shield haters out there, including Matilda's very own Mara Wilson, who is apparently way better at this game than I am. But the shield is actually my favorite weapon. I'm not kidding, it's all I use. It's got a little bit of everything. You can throw it, you can slam it, you can charge and block. The only thing you can't do is put it on a table, use it as a plate, and eat a Greek salad off of it. Now, aside from phenomenal gameplay, Hades also gets a lot of mileage out of its characters and story. The game is heavy on its Greek mythology theme. Now, honestly, the only thing I can remember right now about Greek mythology is that Hades is James Woods. And yes, he certainly is. Additionally, I found this cute puppy meme about Cerberus. I honestly believe this has a lot of value. But the way these mythological characters are incorporated into the gameplay is also one of the game's strongest and most unique qualities. There's this very rich conversation system where you can improve your relationships with each NPC to unlock their keepsakes, and in some cases, a legendary keepsake as well. This is one of the things you're constantly working on, and one that makes this game feel less rogue. Pretty much every time you return to the House of Hades, you'll see some new dialogue, and Supergiant has probably done the best job yet at mashing together roguelike gameplay with actual quality storyline and characters. Without spoiling anything, I'll just say that you have to beat Hades 10 times to see the real story unfold, and it's very emotional. The more you learn about Hades as a character, the more you understand this world and why he's been such a douche to you this whole time.
What did I tell you, boy?
One of my favorite things about this game's atmosphere is the music. Darren Korb really outdid himself this time. It's like Dream Theater, but good. No, but seriously, just listen to this. This is the actual music in the game. Yo, Bruce Dickinson, Steve Harris, are you guys listening to this? The new Iron Maiden album should be based on this game. Now, if I were to try and come up with a complaint about this game, I have no idea what I would come up with. Maybe smashing pots could give you a tiny bit of coin? Oh, never mind, that's in the game. You just have to unlock it. Yeah, there's nothing. I guess if I were to complain, I would say it's too good? It could be a little less good. It does feel overly good. Honestly, you ever play a game that's so good that it doesn't even feel like you're playing a game anymore? It's like some new activity that's just highly addictive and you don't really know why. Yeah, that's this game. Supergiant, we really need to get this situation under control. You guys have been running amok with talent, great ideas, and impeccable execution. And you know what? I think it just needs to stop. You're not even giving other video game companies a chance at this point. The guys over at Chucklefish are crying in a rainy window right now. The people over at CD Projekt Red are crying in a glitchy, neon-lit rainy window. And my life seriously cannot handle any more of your perfectly solid gaming offerings. I think I would just like to end this video with me simply repeating the word Supergiant for 10 straight seconds. Supergiant. Super. Giant. Super. Giant. Super. Giant.